Everybody, how's it going? Welcome to the first of the magical readathon reading vlogs. Hello. So this is the first video about this readathon that you are going to see from me, because actually since G decided to, reinvent the whole magical world which this readathon is going to be set in, I actually haven't participated yet. So there was at the first readathon back in September called the Novice Path, and I actually, because I had my whole booktube hiatus thing going on all last year, I didn't participate. So my idea was to actually do some catching up this week. So it is the first week of the readathon. Today is, I think it's April 6th, so I'm still joining a little bit late, but I thought I would actually go and figure out everything right now, how this readathon works. I've actually seen a couple of videos from G already, or maybe just one, the announcement video for the September readathon. And right now I actually downloaded the files that I need to actually complete the Novice Path. So I think I'm actually gonna go and print those out so I can figure out my TBR for the week. I'm gonna try to finish the Novice Path by the end of the week. I know that G said in her announcement video that it was enough to read at least 2 books to finish the Novice Path, so I'm gonna try to do that to see if I'm even worthy to participate in the magical readathon. Am I gonna be strong enough to do this? We're gonna see. And later on, probably in the next reading vlog, I'm gonna start on with the new part of the readathon, when you actually pick your guild and the really interesting stuff starts to happen. You actually get to the Orilium school and stuff, so I'm really excited. I love the school setting that G kept for the readathon. Obviously it's tests, basically magical tests, but right now I'm gonna go and print out those files so I can figure out my TBR, and let's have some fun this week. I'm gonna try to pick some fun books, some quick books, so I can finish this. So yeah, let me print those out. Okay, I have the first. My printer is going crazy, but I have the first part here. So this is all done. This is Traveler's Key. So there's 2 pages of this. I think this is gonna be a guide on which path I should take or something like that. I don't know, it looks pretty interesting. I'm gonna read through everything together later. So I don't know what's happening to my printer. It's gone crazy. Now it stopped printing. What the hell? What's happening? Anyway, let me show you my outfit. I'm actually kind of proud of my outfit today. I put some care into it. Look at this little I really like this top outfit. It has chain straps or something. Chain straps, is that right? So yeah, I really like it, and I have some jeans on underneath. I don't know, I really like it. I'm actually working in the afternoon, so I thought I would get ready early and start this vlog. I usually don't really like working in the afternoon, but today I feel like it works really well because I can read in the morning and actually start this readathon, and this reading vlog and everything. So I think it's gonna be fun. Okay, let me try to figure out what's going on with my printer because this is just getting weird. It's completely stuck now. Yeah, so my printer has decided not to cooperate anymore. Apparently it's had enough for today. It did print 2 whole pages, which I guess was hard work. But yeah, at least I have the Traveler's Key, which I've now realized actually has all the prompts that I need. This first part is for the Novice Path, and then underneath and on the next page is some character creation prompts, which I don't know yet whether I'm gonna focus on or not. And the other document that I was going to print is called On the Path, which from my understanding it's it gives you some context for what exactly the prompts are about. It's kind of the backstory of the path that you're going on, the Novice Path. So yeah, I'm unfortunately gonna have to read it on my computer. I was hoping to have it printed out, but I guess not. So yeah, let me go through everything now and decide on my TBR so I can finally tell you what exactly I'm gonna be reading. I do think I'm gonna be picking some middle grade books because I have some right there that are super exciting, and I'm very excited to read. So I think I'm gonna decide for some middle grades. So yeah, okay, now let me go through the path, let me see what it's all about, let me pick out the books, and go from there, Okay. Someone's already throwing up in a bush. This is suspicious. Like, what's going on? We'll reach the end of the path. Not everyone will even survive. Excuse me? Not everyone will survive? That is crazy. What if you die during the readathon? Is it possible to die during... like, your character just dies? Can you imagine? That would be hilarious. But you know you will. Oh, okay. That's comforting. Okay, so I finally have my TBR ready. So I actually found the whole story very interesting. I love what G did with that. And I actually ended up picking the prompts based on like parts of the story that I found the most interesting. At least like most of them. So for the first prompt, I actually chose like the first one. So like the entrance to the novice path, because it kind of seemed like fitting. If I want to go to the novice path, I should like go with the entrance to the, you know what I mean? Anyway, and the prompt for this is to read a book with a map. And I actually had a little bit of a hard time. Most of the books that I wanted to read, I didn't have a map. And then I just for jokes decided to flip through Kingdom of the Wicked by Kerri Maniscalco. And this book has a map. Like, I had no idea. I thought this was like an urban fantasy, so it wasn't like expecting a map, but it even has like a gorgeous map. Oh, look at this. It's actually like a map of hell, so it has all these like castles or houses like throughout hell, whatever. So yeah, I'm absolutely obsessed with how stunning this artwork is. So yeah, that's a map. That means that I'm gonna be reading Kingdom of the Wicked for the first prompt. And this is actually a story. It's like a fantasy romance about a girl who I believe is a witch falling in love with like a prince of hell. So sign me the heck up. I've heard great things about it, so I'm really excited to actually jump into it. So that's gonna be the first book. It's not a middle grade, but I still think it's gonna be really fun. Then for the next prompt, I decided to skip Ashton Tree, even though that was like one of my favorite parts of the story, and the prompt is very interesting. But the book that I would have picked for that prompt is the same as the next one for The Mist of Solitude, which is Read a Standalone. And the book that I picked is actually called The Scandalous Sisterhood of Prickwillow Place by Julie Barry. So this is a middle grade story, and I'm pretty sure this is a dark academia based on like the synopsis on the back. It definitely sounds like it's gonna be a dark academia. And it's about like this girls' school, all-girls school, where the headmistress and her brother end up dead. And this group of students decides that like they don't want the school to close, so they are going to keep the murders secret from their neighbors and try to actually figure out who like murdered their headmistress and her brother. So yeah, it sounds very interesting. It sounds hella cute and kind of murdery. So I think it's gonna be a really fun time. It has like this couple's death on like the first page, which I actually find very intriguing. I want to know what it's about. I'm pretty sure the headmistress died being poisoned, so it could have also been one of the students. Like, I just don't know, but I really want to find out. So yeah, I'm really excited to pick this one up. I haven't heard about it before, but let me know if you have read it. But I'm gonna be reading it anyway, so yeah, I think it's gonna be fun. Then I'm also skipping, no, the next prompt is Ruin of the Sky, read a book featuring ghosts, haunted house, or other supernatural elements. So the book that I picked for this is The Bewitching of Aveline Jones by Phil Hickes. So this is the continuation of The Haunting of Aveline Jones. I think it's like, it's not a series where like the plots in the books would intertwine. It's more like a series of companion novels. So each story has like its own plot line, but the same characters. And this one is actually about Aveline Jones going to like a summer house or something. It's like a summer vacation, and she goes on that vacation with her mom, and some interesting things happen. The first book did feature like a haunted house and some ghosts and stuff. I don't know whether this one is gonna have ghosts as well, but based on the first book, I'm gonna assume it does. So if not, like there's apparently witches in here, and I don't know whether the prompt mentioned witches, but are witches considered like supernatural creatures or not, or is that like offensive or something? I don't know, but yeah, so I'm gonna go with this one. I'm gonna see whether it does actually fit with the prompt or not. If not, like It's gonna be another book read in 2022. I need more of those anyway. So yeah, okay, then I'm skipping the next couple of prompts, which is to read a thriller or mystery book, or to read a 5-star prediction, and go straight to the last prompt, which is for the Orilium Academy arc. And this says to read a book with a school setting. For this last one, I'm going with a book. I wasn't able to decide, so I decided to put 2 books on my TBR, and then when I finally decided to get to the prompt, I'm gonna pick which one I'm more in the mood for. The first one is Shadow School, Archimancy by J.A. White. This is about a young girl going to a very strange school where there is also ghosts. So yeah, don't know much more about it. I did read another J.A. White book a while ago, I think a couple of years ago, and really enjoyed it, so I've actually been pretty excited for this one. It also kind of gives me dark academia, middle grade vibes, so yeah, excited about it. And the other one is The Mystery of Blackhollow Lane. This is definitely middle grade dark academia, and the author is Julia Nobel. I feel like I'm all over the place, I'm sorry. And this is also about a young girl who is sent to this, like, I don't know, some kind of school somewhere in this weird town. And it sounds like she gets up to some trouble. There's probably also ghosts. It looks like there's like a haunted building in the back. So, you know, I mean, actually, if like The Bewitching of Aveline Jones doesn't work out, I can just switch out that book with the Blackhollow Lane or Shadow School or whichever, because both of these stories actually seem like they are about a haunted house. So yeah, but I do also want to get to The Bewitching of Aveline Jones. There's a lot of middle grade books that I have right now that I'm just very intrigued about reading. So I'm trying to squeeze as many as I can on my TBR for this first part of the readathon. But yeah, so those are the books that I'm kind of hoping to read. So there we have it. I have 5, but I'm planning to read 4 of these at least. Starting with Kingdom of the Wicked. So yeah, this is the one I'm hoping to get to first. Unfortunately, today I am on a tight schedule already. Honestly, that story took me a while longer to read than I was anticipating, so it's already pretty late, and this is not working. I'm a mess, honestly. Okay, so yeah, it's almost 1 o'clock, so I don't have much time left, but as soon as I have some time, I'm actually hoping to start Kingdom of the Wicked. Possibly this evening when I get home, I'm gonna start with this book, so yeah, I'm excited. Okay, so I finally have some good news. So it's actually been a week now since me and actually my entire family have tested positive for COVID. I went back for a test today because it's been a week, and we are now all negative. So we have all come through. None of us are infected anymore, and we are all happy and healthy and kicking and back to basically normal. We all got through it pretty much without too many symptoms, and none of us felt too bad. The only thing I did notice is that I got tired just a little bit more easily than normal, and my focus was honestly destroyed. That was like one of the main reasons why I decided to kind of shift around my reading plans, why I didn't like push myself to read, even though I had like huge reading plans for the entire weekend. I decided not to push it because like you never know, you know. So yeah, I did read just a little bit of Kingdom of the Wicked. Like I'm now back to normal scheduling, so I now want to read as much as possible. It is the Easter weekend next, so you know there's gonna be a lot of time to read this weekend, so I kind of just shifted my plans for this next weekend, basically is what I'm saying. For Kingdom of the Wicked, I actually got up to page 234. Oh, that's 234 actually, just noticed that. But yeah, so I'm gonna be honest, I have a bit of a love-hate relationship with the story. I'm not 100% enjoying it. Like, I actually find most aspects of the story pretty annoying. I noticed right away from when I started reading that I wasn't really vibing with like the writing style. I'm just constantly confused while I'm reading this story. There's like dots to be connected that I just like it all goes over my head. I don't know whether it was like because of me, because my focus was shit, or because of the writing style, I honestly don't know. It was something that I was not enjoying because I kept feeling really stupid for not like seeing things and stuff and not like connecting the dots, even though I never knew whether they were like specifically mentioned. Like one character in here, like the devil, I didn't at first realize that he's actually one of the princes of hell. The prince of hell and the devil were one and the same, and not like separate characters. So I don't know whether I'm the only one who had this problem, but like it took me like 230 pages to finally figure that out. So felt kind of stupid there, but I guess that happens, you know. And another thing that I find so annoying is the main character. So this is basically a story about a witch family. We at first follow a couple of twin sisters. We have Victoria and Emilia, then one of the twin sisters is murdered. So our main character in here, Emilia, who is one of the witches, you know, she finds her twin sister's body mutilated, and it actually spurs her into action to get revenge on whoever murdered her sister. She decides that she's gonna dabble in like some dark magic arts, and she summons one of the princes of hell. And the only aspect of the story that I actually enjoy, it is the character Wrath. Like, he is so funny. I honestly wish we could get to explore his like personality and his sense of humor a lot more than what we've done so far, but obviously like he has a reason for keeping a lot of secrets, so obviously we can explore his character more unless the book was written from like his perspective as well. I think that would have vastly improved this book if it was written in multiple perspectives, but like, it doesn't matter now. It's not written. It's only written from one perspective, from Emilia's perspective. And I think why I find the main character so annoying is because she's pretty ignorant about the world. Like, she's trying to be the boss of the investigation of finding her sister's murderer, but how is she going to even do that when she literally knows nothing like about the demon world or even about her own witch ancestry and her own witch powers? Like, she just doesn't know much about the world, but she's still trying to be like the boss of everybody. It's so funny to me, and it's kind of like I get secondhand embarrassment, honestly, when she tries to like one up a prince of hell, but she ends up being the one who is one upped just because she is so ignorant about. Like, she knows basically nothing about the demons. The information that she thinks she has was all lies, like somebody made it up. So it's ridiculous, and like she doesn't really like reflect on that and actually realize, oh shit, wait, I'm like the underdog here. No, she keeps thinking that she's like the boss and she's gonna screw people over or something, but it just ends up going so badly. So yeah, I don't know. I'm just like I said, I have a bit of a love-hate relationship with the story. I don't hate it enough to actually DNF it, even though I did consider doing that a couple of times. But it's honestly Red who makes me like come back to the story again and again, because he just is so interesting, and his interactions with Amelia are getting better, especially now that like a little thing was revealed about the spell that Amelia used to summon him. Like, there's a pretty funny plot twist on that I'm just now very curious how it's all gonna play out. So yeah, I'm intrigued. Like, I'm intrigued enough to actually continue on and finish, but I don't know whether I'm actually going to pick up the sequel. I believe this is like a duology. Depends. If this book is gonna end like in a cliffhanger, then I'm definitely gonna be picking up the sequel. But if it doesn't, I honestly don't know how highly motivated I'm gonna be to actually pick up the next book. So we're gonna see. I'm gonna make up my mind by the time that I like finish reading the story. And I do really want to finish, because next up I'm gonna be jumping into the Scandalous Sisterhood. This is the book that I'm just so excited about. So yeah, I just want to like get into it as soon as possible. I'm really happy about the extended weekend because that gives me a lot of time to read. So yeah, I was hoping to kind of be able to start on the next part of the magical readathon by the time the Easter was around, but unfortunately, like, I'm pretty sure I've mentioned this before in like a reading vlog, maybe even in this reading vlog, but planning stuff is always tricky because you never know what's gonna come along to kind of ruin the plans. So yeah, always expect the unexpected from life. That's the life lesson that I have learned this week. And right now I have another exciting thing to do, actually, because I bought a new camera. So if you saw my previous reading vlog, the House of Earth and Blood reading vlog, you'll know that I took my camera, my old camera, to the service to, you know, have it repaired, to the repair shop, and unfortunately they ended up destroying the camera even more, to the point where it didn't work anymore. So yeah, I had to get a new one, but this one was out of stock. So the new camera that I got is Canon EOS M200, and it's like just a newer model of the previous camera that I had. I had before EOS M100. So yeah, I'm really excited. I'm just happy that I have a camera now, so I can stop overwhelming my phone with all of these videos and stuff. Hello. Okay. This thing's on. Hello. I think this is the first clip that I'm finally filming on my camera, and let's see how this is gonna go. But yeah, so my picnic actually ended up being a success, because one thing I managed was to finish Kingdom of the Wicked, and I'm so happy I'm finally done with this story. Honestly, I was getting so frustrated. I was really hoping that the rest of the story was going to change my opinion, that it was going to improve, but unfortunately, it just solidified that I did not enjoy the story at all. Like, if I were to describe Kingdom of the Wicked in just one word, it would be messy, because everything just seems so messy, from the plotline to the main characters to the magic system. Was there even any system behind the magic? I honestly wouldn't know, because like the main character, I think she used magic maybe once in here, maybe once to like summon the demon, but then like she just used no magic. She kept pointing out that she was a witch and her family were witches, but she never really used any magic, nor, I don't know, does she even know how to use magic at this point? I honestly just have no idea. The only good thing that honestly happened toward the end of the story was the main character admitting that she is very bad at what she's trying to do. So at least she's like self-aware, if she's not like, she lacks the common sense to actually let the people who know what they're doing do what they do, instead of just like butting her head in and trying to boss everybody else around. But still, I have to admit, like, the ending was a cliffhanger, and it was like a cliffhanger I wasn't expecting, so it makes me very intrigued about the sequel. I don't think I'm gonna be buying the next book. I might read it in ebook, but I do want to read it just because I want to see the romance kind of come full circle. I just want the main two characters to admit that they have feelings for each other and finally hopefully get together and have the whole romance thing, you know, because they are like one of the good things of the story, like their relationship. It had like some good parts which I really enjoyed, so that might be the only reason why I would be tempted to become the next book. But yeah, it makes me also worried because I have some other books by Kerri Maniscalco on my TBR, like her Stalking Jack the Ripper series, which is another series that just seems to have those really good autumn vibes, and I was really looking forward to picking it up. But like if it's anything like this one, and like especially the writing style, which was one of the like main things that I wasn't connecting with, I don't think it makes any sense to really like pick up those books. So yeah, lots to think about. But that's actually not the only reading update that I have. I've actually started another couple of books. I think it was like a couple of days ago where on the night of the magical all-nighter, where G was hosting some like live reading sprints on her YouTube channel along with some of the booktube girls. And since I had the time, I decided to just like join along with the readathon, with the reading sprints. Unfortunately, I didn't have the time to join like the full 24-hour readathon, but I did manage to do some reading during those reading sprints. And I picked up The Bewitching of Aveline Jones by Hickes, which was so much fun. I actually managed to fly through the story really quickly, and it was really enjoyable. I found it very, not as spooky as the first book. So I have the first book here as well, which I read a couple of years ago, I believe, The Haunting of Aveline Jones. And this one honestly had me terrified in some moments. But compared to that, I feel like The Bewitching of Aveline Jones is much more chill. It's not as like terrifying. It still like had my heart racing a couple of times. But if you're like somebody who wants to read some spooky stories but don't really want to read spooky stories, this is like a great pick. I would actually recommend both books. But yeah, this one was definitely much more atmospheric. This one focused more on like the characters and the relationships and friendship and stuff. And I was really happy because we actually caught up with all the characters that we met in The Haunting of Aveline Jones as well. So we like meet all of them again, and some new ones of course. We have like Aveline Jones going on this really cute adventure, meeting some witches, and what I liked is that you can't really tell who's like friend and who's foe, so it kind of keeps you on your toes. And there's all these like magical elements sprinkled throughout the story, like just enough to kind of keep the magic flowing, and I really enjoyed it. So yeah, definitely a good read, and I would highly recommend it. If you're into middle grade mysteries, this would be a really good series to pick up. And with The Bewitching of Aveline Jones, I actually completed a prompt for Ruin of the Sky. Read a book featuring ghosts, haunted house, or other supernatural elements. It definitely had some supernatural elements, like we met some witches, we had the stone circles, which apparently have magic, we have magic obviously, and druids and stuff like that. So yeah, like little things that just kept the supernatural flow going, you know. So definitely fits the prompt, which I wasn't sure at first whether it was going to or not. So yeah, this book completed. And then actually, since I finished The Bewitching of Aveline Jones, I decided to just jump straight into the next book that I was going to read, and that is The Scandalous Sisterhood of Prickwillow Place by Julie Berry. I am also enjoying this story. I'm currently on page 150, but like with this one, I'm not vibing with it as much as I had honestly thought I would. I think it's just because this is like a historical middle grade dark academia kind of story, but the writing style doesn't really like fit my kind of sense of humor, because I think my sense of humor is more on like the sarcastic side, but this is more like situational satire kind of thing going on, and I can see why other people would find it like hilarious and would enjoy it, but there's just like a little something that's kind of missing for me. So it's not hitting the sweet spot, but it's not hitting like far away from the sweet spot. So yeah, I'm enjoying it, and I'm excited to continue on. There's actually a quote in here that I really wanted to share with you, which just perfectly summarizes what exactly the story and the girls are all about. You know, just these girls that are burying their dead headmistress's body in their vegetable garden, where they are going to plant new vegetables next season without telling anybody and trying to cover the murder. So yeah, it's really good, and I am excited to continue on. So I think I'm gonna actually read this one today as well. My goal is kind of to read 250 pages at least. I think I can do that, not 100 pages, and the whole book I think is like 350 pages. So yeah, that's my goal for today. And then for the last book, I did make a decision finally. I was trying to choose between so The Blackhollow Lane or The Shadow School by J.A. White. And I think I'm gonna go for The Blackhollow Lane because I've read the first chapter and it got me hooked straight away. The plot setup in the first chapter was just amazing. It's gonna be about a girl going to a boarding school in England, and that just ticks all the boxes for me, so I'm really excited. Plus, I really liked the writing style. I don't know why recently I'm really focusing on the writing style, but I've noticed that if I don't vibe with the writing, I'm probably not gonna vibe with the book. So that's why I think I'm a bit more paying a bit more attention to the writing style lately. Okay everybody, so I'm actually just checking in with a little quick update because I don't have much time right now, but I actually managed to finish The Scandalous Sisterhood of Prickwillow Place by Julie Berry. I finished it last night. I don't have the time right now to actually tell you about what I thought about the rest of the story because there's a lot to unpack, honestly. So I just honestly wanted to let you know that I finished this one, and right now I actually have about half an hour time before I have to leave for work. So I thought I would just go ahead and actually read The Mystery of Blackhollow Lane by Julia Nobel. And I'm hella excited because last night after I finished Prickwillow Place, I just started on with this book. I read the first couple of chapters and honestly they have me in a grip right now. They have me very curious and very intrigued about the plotline, about the main character, about the big mystery of the story. So I'm very excited to continue on, and I'm actually gonna go ahead and read right now. I have half an hour left before I have to go to work. So I'm gonna jump into this one, and then I'm gonna give you an update on both of these books when I actually get back. So yeah, but I got really excited about both of the books, so I just was I have to sit down and actually tell you guys what's happening. So yeah, that was the whole point of this update, nothing too special, just wanted to let you know I'm now reading this lovely, and it's the last book that I need to finish to kind of finish off this part of the magical readathon, so that I am now officially, when I finish this, I will be officially entered into the magical readathon society and become part of this world. So yeah, just exciting times, so I wanted to share. Okay everybody, so as promised, I'm back with a bigger reading update this time. So I've been reading The Scandalous Sisterhood and The Mystery of Blackhollow Lane, and I'm actually gonna start with The Scandalous Sisterhood since this is the book that I've already finished. And there's my feelings for the book haven't really changed since finishing it, compared to the first half of the book. I did kind of feel in the last maybe 70 pages or so, the pace did start to pick up just a little bit, and the book suddenly felt very exciting. It could be because there were a lot of revelations, a lot of secrets being revealed, a lot of new big players being revealed, some new characters also appearing who had interesting relationships with the characters we had already known. So yeah, there was a lot that happened in maybe the 50 pages toward the end of the story that kind of made the story a little bit more exciting than what we had been seeing maybe in the first half of the story. But it wasn't enough to really improve the overall vibe and feeling of the story, because then when we reach maybe the last 20 pages or so, the pace starts kind of slow down again. It goes back to how it was in the first 100 pages. Basically what I'm trying to say is that this isn't really an exciting book. It's actually a pretty chill book, but I feel with the plot that the book has, it could have been way more exciting. So yeah, it's just unfortunately not my cup of tea. Oh my god, I'm laughing way too hard at a stupid joke. Anyway, so yeah, I honestly still am a little bit on the fence. Since I finished the story, I've been debating whether this book is actually dark academia, because besides the school setting theme and there being a murder, so there being death in the story, I don't think the story really has any other dark academia elements. But at the same time, I don't think I would really call this book a mystery, because I feel for a mystery you actually have to have main characters interesting in actually finding out who was the murderer. But the main characters in here were just so nonchalant about their headmistresses that they didn't really care to find out who exactly killed their headmistress. They just didn't care. They just went on living with their lives the way they wanted to, just enjoying their freedom from the authority. So yeah, I don't honestly know how I would classify the story. Maybe a light academia, but then I don't know, there's still death in here, so does light academia have death as well, or does it not have I just don't know. It was just it was a cute story that I personally didn't connect with, but I think I would still recommend it to other readers. So yeah, if you're interested, I would definitely recommend checking it out. Maybe check it out in audiobook. Maybe that might like improve the feeling of the pacing of the story a little bit. So yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it was just like a book that I read. So yeah, but it is the third book that I finished for the readathon. So that is the third prompt. I picked The Scandalous Sisterhood for The Mist of Solitude. So that was to read a standalone. This is in fact a standalone that I have read. So third prompt completed. Now I only have the last one to go. And it's actually funny, but so far I've like sat down with this book possibly 2 times, maybe 3 times if I count like the first evening, and I've already finished more than 200 pages of the story. Like I am flying through this book. Like compared to The Scandalous Sisterhood, or actually I'm not gonna compare the books. So yeah, The Mystery of Blackhollow is actually a very fast-paced story. I am really enjoying the way the kind of revelations that are spaced out throughout the story very like gradually. We're not getting too many informations and revelations at once. So yeah, I think it keeps the story interesting while also building all the other aspects like the relationship. We have a beautiful trio of characters in here. So we have the main character Emmy who is sent to a boarding school in England, and she meets a couple of friends called Jack and Lola, and the 3 of them just decide to really stick together and actually investigate the disappearance of Emmy's father together and who he was, what his role was, whether he actually went to the same school that Emmy was sent to. So yeah, it's such a fun story, and this one is definitely much more like that dark academia. We obviously have the boarding school setting, we have a secret society that seems very mysterious, kind of dangerous, and we also have like the disappearance of Emmy's father, obviously. So we have kind of like this mystery, this possibly a murder mystery. Like, is it a murder mystery? Is her dad dead, or is he still alive, or where is he? What is his role with the secret society? What is his role at his school? You know, just everything. There's so many questions that the main characters are trying to investigate, and they are meeting a lot of obstacles on the path of discovering the truth of what happened to her dad. So yeah, it's really cute. I also love the way that Emmy's relationship with her mom is portrayed. I actually think that's one of the most interesting aspects of the story as well. I can't wait for them to have like the big conversation, the big important conversation about things. So yeah, that's another thing that I'm looking forward to in the next 100 pages. And besides that, I just want to freaking know. I just want to freaking know what exactly. Where's her dad? What happened to him? What is his role in the whole scheme of things? I just really freaking want to know, you know? So yeah, that's actually why I'm gonna go right now, and I'm gonna finish the story, and I'm gonna check in with you later as well when I finally finish it. So yeah, I can't freaking wait anymore to find out what exactly goes down with this. I need to know right now. Okay, everybody, so I'm back. It's actually been a couple of days, maybe a week, possibly a week, but you know, it's a secret. But yeah, so I finally finished The Mystery of Blackhollow Lane by Julia Nobel, right? Yes, by Julia Nobel. And I freaking am so happy right now that I decided to pick this book up for this part of the magical readathon, because it is like the closest to perfection that a book can come. I feel like this book is just beautiful. It is like, I feel like this part of the readathon has this very autumnal, kind of mysterious, very cozy vibe, and in a lot of ways I feel like this book is just the perfect pick for this part of the readathon. Like, it just fits the aesthetic, it fits the vibe, it fits the, I don't know what else, but this book just like, it hits all the sweet spots, and I absolutely adore it. So yeah, love the rest of the story. Obviously I won't go into detail. I am still waiting though for Emmy and her mom to have a heart-to-heart. Unfortunately, like, the conversation didn't happen in this book, but there is a sequel, I believe. There's like another book that's already out. It's called The Secret of Whitestone Gate. And I at first thought it was actually gonna be about a different set of characters, but by the way that this book ended, I think we follow the same set of characters, so Emmy and Jack and Lola, and I'm really excited about it. I'm actually really happy this is going to be a series, that it's not just a standalone, and I know the sequel is already out because I've seen some people already read it. So yeah, I'm excited to jump into the sequel. This one gets solid 5 stars from me. I love it to bits. I love the characters. I love the setting. I love the storyline. I love the mystery. I love that we have a lot of unanswered questions for future books. And yeah, I'm definitely gonna be on the lookout for more from this author. So yeah, loved it, loved it, loved it. Absolutely loved it. And then that's basically it for this part of the readathon. That's everything that I really had to do. I've now finished all the prompts on this piece of paper. So I have, like, I finished 4 books, right? Was it 4? I think it was 4. So I read Kingdom of the Wicked for entrance to the novice path. Then I read Scandalous for the Mist of Solitude to read a standalone. Then I read the Aveline Jones book. I actually have all the books right here. So yeah, I read Kingdom of the Wicked, then we had the Scandalous Sisterhood, then I've read The Bewitching of Aveline Jones, which I had for Ruin of the Sky, to read a book featuring ghosts, haunted houses, or other supernatural elements. Yeah, this book was also really good. And then I read this lovely book for the last prompt, which was a Orilium Academy book with a school setting. So yeah, these are the 4 books that I finished for the entrance to the novice path. I enjoyed half of these books. No shade to these 2 books, because to an extent I did enjoy them as well, but just not as much as these new favorite middle grades for sure. I would highly recommend both of them. Again, if I didn't say this enough, I recommend these books a lot. And they're both part of a series, very bewitching and very autumnal, so yeah, really great picks. And that's gonna be it for this reading vlog. I'm gonna be doing more of the magical readathons in the future. I'm gonna be trying to catch up with all of them, so I hope I'm gonna see you in some future magical readathon vlogs. And next up is actually gonna be entering into the Orilium Academy Society, building characters, choosing like a faction, a guild I believe was mentioned, and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm super excited, and I am curious whether you guys are participating as well. Have you been participating in the magical readathon? I'm actually really curious what you guys have been up to, and if you have any book recommendations, like, let me know, you know. Okay, yeah, that's gonna be it for this reading vlog. I hope you enjoyed watching. I hope you're doing great wherever you are, and until next time, I'm gonna talk to you later. I'm gonna see you in a new video soon. Okay, bye bye.